April 3rd, 1994, baseball's opening day. August 12th, the players go on strike, ending the '94 season. For Phillies outfielder Lenny Dykstra, that meant an $800,000 pay cut from his '94 salary. February 9th, 1995, Dykstra tells ESPN's Up Close that he's rallied about 20 premier players to push union boss Donald Fehr to rethink the union's position at the negotiation table. February 17th, Dykstra travels to Orlando to address his fellow players directly. He spoke for nearly 10 minutes while most players hollered and booed. Days later, Phillies teammate Curt Schilling fielded tough questions on Dykstra's comments. Let's watch.
I'm your host, Angelo Cataldi. I work the morning shift on Sports Radio 610 WIP. It's our rest of our expanded panel today. We have Mike Missanelli, who is the editor-in-chief of Fan Magazine and is the afternoon guy with Steve Fredericks on WIP Radio. Al Morganti works with me in the morning and is the ESPN hockey correspondent. Howard Eskin, who works the late afternoon, early evening shift at WIP and is also at KYW Television. And from the Philadelphia Phillies, Curt Schilling. Soon we hope to be working again. All right, we got a lot to talk about. And Curt, first of all, we appreciate you coming out here. And there are so many questions that so many of us have here. We thought this would be great to have you here to address some of them. First of all, a lot of questions on the people in Philadelphia about what really happened last week when Lenny Dykstra addressed the group of about 260 of his fellow players in Orlando. Can you kind of tell us what happened that day?
Well, Lenny, as you know, made some comments and made a statement on ESPN, made two statements, and some of the things that Lenny said in the context in which he said them ruffled some feathers amongst the players. And Lenny found out about it and felt that he needed to make sure that people understood what he was trying to get across. And he felt that it was best to do this in a forum of the players.
So and he brought in a prepared statement.
He brought in a prepared statement, made a speech to the players, and did get to finish it. I mean, there were some players that didn't want to hear the end of it, but he got to finish it and took questions and really answered a lot of questions about his stance and his view. And then later on in the meeting, stood up and made another statement in response to something that someone said aimed at him. And I thought he came off.
Okay, so he had the statement. He was reading the statement. In the course of that, there were players in the audience that were trying to shout him down?
There were a couple, yeah.
There were?
Yeah.
And what was the response of the other guys?
To let him finish.
Okay.
And he got to finish, and he got to say his part. And in the context of a union meeting, I'm not a union life guy, but it was a very heated meeting. There was a lot of discussion, a lot of heated discussion, a lot of yelling, a lot of shouting, a lot of cussing, and probably a lot of hard feelings, but some things that I think had to be ironed out.
What did Lenny say?
Well, he reiterated his comments that he made on ESPN, exactly what he meant. The fact that he was not going to cross the picket line, but that he wanted to play and he needed to get a settlement. And the players let him know that he didn't want to play or needed to sell him any more than any of us did. And for someone to think that we're out of our own free will and wanting to stay where we are is ridiculous. But he felt like he's the kind of person with the kind of stature within the union that can get something done by making a statement.
There were a lot of guys that made statements afterwards. Brett Butler really came out and hammered Lenny Dykstra, saying that he had set the movement back a couple of weeks. You're there in the meeting. Do you think he lost any ground by what he did on ESPN?
I don't know. To talk to Lenny, he doesn't think he did. And whether he did or not, we'll find out. Obviously, I would guess we're meeting this week. But, again, he answered the questions he felt he had to answer and made a statement. And one of the points I think he made rightly so was if Lenny Dykstra didn't believe in the union and didn't figure on where we were going and wasn't behind the union, he would sit home till April 3rd, cross the picket line, and collect a paycheck.
Let me ask you this, Curt, and we're going to get into all the issues of the strike coming up next because there are some pro-owners on the panel, some pro-players. But this is one thing that bugs me, and I wonder if it bugs you. This guy, Lenny Dykstra, is your teammate. This is a guy with a very, very, very popular in Philadelphia. And the picture that was sent back to the fans in the city was, here's Lenny going out the back door of a meeting hall and hiding behind the car for somebody to pick him up. Is the union so intimidating that they can do that to a Lenny Dykstra?
No, Lenny Dykstra left that meeting through the back door to avoid the media. There was throngs of people from media all over the country, and Lenny didn't feel like answering any questions to the media afterwards. Lenny said what he had to say. We said what we had to say to Lenny, and things were squared up. I mean, Lenny, like I said, I think Lenny made good in my mind. I mean, Lenny, I wish Lenny wouldn't have used the public forum he used to say what he had to say. I wish he would have said it in the players' meeting, but he did it, and so what? He didn't say anything we don't feel ourselves. We want to play.
Do you feel the same way as Lenny, that other players want to do the same thing as he does, and whether you say he doesn't want to cross it or not, he's on the edge.
What is doing the same thing as he does?
Wanting to cross the picket line.
He didn't say he wanted to cross the picket line.
Well, he's told certain people he has.
Who is he told?
Who is he told?
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessary. I assure you.
Are you telling me he's told you he's going to cross the picket line?
Yes.
So he's told you, but he's told his own teammates he wouldn't cross the picket line.
No, he's told some other players he has, because other players have called him. The question is not, I don't want to debate that issue.
Well, it's a debatable issue, because you're telling me that Lenny Dykstra is going to.
Well, no, the question is, do you believe that there are other players that feel the same way?
That want to cross the picket line?
Well, that are on the edge. Let's put it this way, to make you feel happy, that are on the edge.
No,
crossing
the question.
You don't believe there's any other players like that?
That are on the edge?
Right.
Maybe a few.
Okay, so now I just wanted the answer to that, because my next question is, why, when Lenny requested, and I know there's been at least one or two other players that requested a secret ballot to find out the real feelings of players, that the union will not do that?
The union never said they wouldn't do it.
Gene Orza said it's unnecessary.
Because you have to put something on the ballot to vote on. What's the real feelings on what, Howard? On the last proposal?
Well, then put something there and have a secret ballot.
Why would we put something on the table if we don't have a proposal from them? Are we going to make more concessions now?
You do have a proposal because there's something that's already implemented. Now, if you don't like
this current system that was implemented is a 94 system.
All right, guys, this is good, and it's going to be part of our roundtable. It's coming up next. Calm down, Howard, Curt. It's going to be good. Oh, man. Okay. I warned you about this. All right. We're coming right back, and we will deal with all the issues of the baseball strike. Stay right there.